prelims, my strategy, apart from that, was going through previous year papers, analyzing them. So the last 3-4 years paper, I used to religiously go through in terms of after attempting it, go through the other options as well, Google search certain things, and then make notes out of it, just 1 or 2 pages. So I can just revise towards the end. For the other ones, like the previous 10-15 year papers, last year what I did was I looked at them thematically. So if I'm looking at modern history, I look at all the questions, sort of see where they're going, and based on that, then I used to study accordingly. And again, make notes of whatever the answers were, because sometimes it does help. Sometimes there's the repetition of question. It helped me to eliminate a certain question in the next year paper. So sometimes it does help, just going through thematically previous 10-15 year papers. So that was my strategy for prelims. For mains, it's a different ball game. There are, apart from the basic books, so you need to have a command over the basic books by that time, because you'll have revised it 2-3, at least 3 times for your prelims, which is very, very necessary. Revision is something, again, which I'll again and again remind you, because it's one of the most it's the hardest thing to do as well. So multiple revisions are the only way in which you can actually make things remain in your head. For mains, apart from all of this, looking at the previous year syllabus is very, very important, and looking at previous year question papers is very, very important. So what I would suggest is, if you're, say, looking at geography, or if you're looking at environment, you would have your class notes with you, right? So you would have your class notes with you, you have your basic books with you. Before you start again revising or start preparing, just go through the syllabus of that particular geography unit. Or for example, say social issues unit, there's an issue called, I think, women's issues or population. There are certain keywords which are mentioned there. So while you're going through that material, focus on those keywords again, and then look at the previous year question papers as well, and after that come back to study. So you'll be studying the same thing, but your orientation and in your mind you'll be like, acha, this is some question which came, this is some question which may come in the future. So there's a trend you can analyze and then prepare accordingly. So that I think was important for me in terms of keeping the syllabus in mind and then reading your static material. As a corollary to that, and that is what Sir was also saying in terms of how to integrate your class notes with the preparation and with current affairs. So after you've done the basic preparation, when you're going through current affairs, and I personally, the newspaper was a very important part of my preparation. I used to read the Hindu early on. Towards the end, I started reading the Indian Express also, to develop a habit of reading the paper as well. And so based on those headings in the syllabus, what I used to do with the notes that I used to make of the newspaper was not a note of the article itself. So for example, if there's something on river interlinking, there's a news which came, there's a proper article in it. My notes will not be about that article. My notes will be about river interlinking, right? And so I'll talk about the issue, the history of it, why, what. So it'll take a little more time. I'll use the example which was used in that, and I'll leave a little space at the end or on the side in terms of any other additional information which I'll get. So say 2 weeks later, if there's another issue, or there's another issue of interstate dispute over a river interlinking project, what I'll do is I'll just add the example at the end. So my notes are already ready. If there's any additional point in terms of causes or consequences or way forward, I'll write that also. So rather than making article-based notes, I used to make topic-based notes based on the syllabus and things and topics which I feel could help me, and a probable question could come on that. So that was how I prepared for mains. Interview, I think, is a different sort of preparation. So what is important? Newspaper reading you've already done. It's important to develop an opinion on it and back it up. So apart from your DAF is very important. I think those are later aspects of the preparation, which I think all of you are just starting out. 2023, I think most of you are appearing in. So that is something I think you will develop later. But as a very preliminary thing, the change in terms of current affairs for the interview preparation is, you have to have some sort of opinion and balance it. It doesn't need to be a far-sighted like opinion, but the nature of the preparation changes in terms of you're not just remembering facts, but you're understanding them and understanding their consequences, issues. So just the orientation becomes a little different for interview preparation, but I think that we'll get to later on.
For watching my video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon.